everyone, welcome back to our channel, Border Mates with Tokbe Olaiwola. Today we'll be talking about the checklist for immigrants who want to immigrate from Nigeria to Croatia, depending on your home country. Mind you, there are different document checklists to different countries. If you are an immigrant planning to immigrate to Croatia from a place like Ghana or other African countries, there are different document checklists that you need to look into to be able to be admissible as an immigrant to that country. Croatia tourist visa, also known as visitor's visa from Nigeria. The first thing on the list today, I've made out a list for what you need to know, the documents that you need for you to apply for a Croatian tourist visa. Today, we have the visa application form. Is the first thing that you need to do. You need to fill your visa application form on the Croatian website and have all the necessary details imputed there without making any omission or errors. The second thing we need to do is your passport. Your passport must be 6 months, must be valid for at least more than 6 months as at when you are applying for this visa. The third thing we are going to do is your passport photo. The passport photo, they have a passport photo size of 2x2 that you have to take with a white background for your visa application. Another thing you need to look at is the proof of your accommodation. Where are you going to be staying while you are there? You need to have an idea of where you are going to be staying. Make a booking from a hotel. A very good one you can use is Booking.com. You can book an hotel there and see the prices for what you can afford on that. Another thing we need to look at is the flight itinerary. You need to have a detailed flight itinerary that shows when you'll be arriving in Croatia and when you are expected to leave Croatia. Another thing you should also look at is your travel insurance. Your travel insurance ought to be 30,000 euro, at least 30,000 euro is the basic requirement. You have to be 30,000 euro just in case you have medical needs, as that when you are over there, you'll be able to access basic medical needs for free because you have an insurance for this purpose. Another thing we need to look at is proof of sufficient funds. You need to have a proof of sufficient funds. I'm going to be doing a different video on how you should get your detailed proof of funds for your travel. So I'm going to be doing another video for that. And another thing you need to look at is an employment stroke income proof. Your employment needs to show that you are employed in XYZ. If you are not employed, you are self-employed, you need to be able to include your CSC document, CA7, CA4 for the proof to the embassy, for them to know that you represent an entity, a company back home, and you have a business that you are doing. You need to also add supporting document to this document to show that this company is running and is fully functional in operations. Another thing you need to add is your purpose of visit. Why are you visiting Croatia? Are you visiting Croatia as a tourist person? You are visiting Croatia for vacation, whatever it is you want to do. What are you visiting Croatia for? You need to be able to put that out. Another thing we need to look at is the proof of civil status. Are you married in Nigeria? Do you have a spouse, kids? You need to add your marriage certificate, birth certificate of your kids, a consent from your wife stating that she is aware of your plans to visit Croatia. If it's your wife that is traveling, he needs to have a consent from the husband that the husband has given consent for her to travel. If she's traveling alone, she's traveling with the kids. For her and the kids to travel, there has to be a consent letter to that effect for that. Another thing we need to look at is assets. Do you have assets? If you have assets, you need to include copies of this asset. You need to add photocopies of this asset in your application to show that you have home ties back home. You are not just going to Croatia to elope because it's a beautiful country and you want to be there or something. You know, you want to prove to the visa officer that you have home ties and the purpose of your traveling is solely for tourism. That's another thing to look at. Another thing for you to add is the visa fee. The visa fee, Croatia does not have an operational office in Nigeria for processing tourist visa for immigrants from Nigeria. Rather, you have to make the visa fee available to their office in Pretoria, South Africa. That is where they have. If you go to VFS, you find details of this their account details for you to be able to make an international wire transfer to Croatia and get a TELES copy. A TELES copy will come the second day from when you make initial payment. If, for example, you make the payment today, for example, we are filming on Monday, the TELES should be ready on Tuesday for you to print it out and add it to your visa application. Because without the TELES, the VFS center in Abuja will not accept your application unless you have the TELES copy with you. Another thing we need to look at is a copy of a visa appointment. Your appointment is something that you ought to do. The first thing for you to do is to get your appointment, to have a date available for you to be able to plan your travel. So if you are going to visit Croatia, for example, on the 2nd of September, you should have your appointment at least 3 months ahead from the date you intend to visit Croatia. If you are visiting Croatia in September, you need to have your appointment at least 3 months ahead. That way, it will give you chance for you to plan properly on what you need and put your documents together for you to be able to be considered and have a positive response when your visa has been processed. If you like what you are seeing and the content, do follow us and subscribe for more informative contents like this. We'll be doing a separate video, like I said, for the proof of funds. A lot of people are not aware of what they need to know and how the proof of funds ought to be. There's a certain amount. For a Schengen state, it is assumed that you need to have at least 50 to 80 euros for you to be able to do. This is excluding your accommodation. If you are looking at doing your accommodation with your expenses, you should be looking at 150 euros to 200 euros a day. The required amount for you to have a day after or before your accommodation is 50 to 100 euros in your account. So we're going to be doing a separate video for that, for you to have an idea of how you are going to go about your proof of funds to enable you scale through the visa processing. Another thing you need to look at is your tax clearance. A lot of people from Nigeria does not have their tax clearance, and the embassies want to know if you are a responsible immigrant that want to immigrate. If you are a taxpayer in your country, you have nothing to worry about, because the visa officer would know that you are a taxpayer in your country and you are working and you are doing everything in order for you to be able to present yourself and get the visa approved. If you like the content, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more informative updates on travel blogs. Thank you.